I'd like to call the Dublin City Council meeting to order. If you would, let's please stand, and we'll ask Councilman Bill Brown to give us the invocation, then we'll say the pledge to the flag.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this day that you've given us. We're thankful for this opportunity to gather in this place. Please guide and direct us as we discuss the city's business. We're thankful for the citizens that are here, and may everything we think and say be pleasing to thee. In Christ I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. Let's see here. First item on the agenda is the approval of the April 5th, 2018 City Council meeting minutes. You have a copy of those in your pack.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Davis and a second by Mr. Jones. We approve the minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay. All right. Item number 2 is approval of bills over $3,000.
Make a motion, we pay the bills, Mayor.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Edwards and a second by Mr. Brown that we pay the bills. Any discussion there? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Item number 3 is approval of purchases over $3,000.
No purchases, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 4 is presentation by the Downtown Development Authority updating mayor and council on downtown Dublin. And I think that's Ms. Bradshaw going to do that for us. Good evening.
Good evening. Happy birthday. Thank y'all for having me. I didn't prepare much. It should only take an hour or so.
You mind cutting the lights off when you leave?
might be here alone. Well, I want to personally thank you on behalf of the Downtown Development Authority for continuously to supporting our revitalization efforts in downtown and really showing the leadership that it takes to make a revitalization program work. So on behalf of the board, thank you for that. What I want to do tonight is just take a quick few minutes and review 2017, hit some of the highlights on what we accomplished throughout the year, and then sort of give you an idea of where we're headed next and make a request from you. So I want to give you a snapshot of where, hang on, let me get my technology going here. Practice on this one.
While we pay him the big bucks.
Show me what button to press. He's always there for us. So I'm very excited to report the impact of our 2007, our community summary impact has returned. And what we've seen is right at $5.5 million in investment this year in downtown Dublin. That netted 7 new businesses and 37 jobs in just 12 months. We are extremely excited about that. We hosted just over 50,000 visitors to about 100 events throughout the year, and that's people coming into downtown, visiting our theater, our farmers market, any events that we have along the sidewalks and things like that. So some of the things we have ongoing now, let's see here. Of course, we have the Jackson Street Plaza and parking project. We're really excited that we've been able to partner with you all on this. Looking back, you know, we started this process 2 years ago with the design process, and now to see it come into fruition is really exciting, and I think it's going to be a capstone piece for our downtown. Some of you may have heard me say this, but just the commitment to this project has already spurred development on the majority of the buildings on that block, and you can all see that happening now. Right now we're at about $6 million in private investment that's committed on that block just from that one piece of public investment. So some of those projects we have are Miller & Company opened there in the Rhino building. We have 6 new condos that just recently opened. First time residential has been added in almost a decade. A couple of our big buildings there on that block, the Corker and the Henry building, along with one other small one, is going to be renovated. These are both historic tax credit projects. DDA was able to incentivize these developers to help them with some of the pre-development costs up front, same that we did with the skyscraper a few years ago. These projects will wind up being about $3 million worth of investment when it's all said and done. So that's pretty impressive. One of the things that you might have noticed on Jefferson Street, we're very excited that Jefferson Street is beginning to transform. There are several buildings there that are now under renovation that we're very excited about seeing where those go, where those lead, and attracting new businesses onto Jefferson Street. One that I'm very proud of to report to you, and you may be happy about too, the Orr Smith Warehouse. This is what we call the Railroad Warehouse on South Jefferson Street. DDA acquired this property a couple of years ago, and it suffered some severe damage due to a gutter fail, and we've held on to it for a couple of years, really trying to work out how to save it. I'm proud to report that we have just partnered with a couple of investors. They will be purchasing the property from us and locating 2 businesses inside of it. One of it will be a business called Restored Woodworks, where they'll build high-end furniture out of reclaimed products. So I think it's a great fit for the property. The other option was very dismal for the property, and I think if we wound up losing it, ultimately that would have changed the gateway into downtown from Highway 19, and we didn't want to see that happen. So we're very proud to see that piece of property, that building saved. Another project we worked on this year, we partnered with the city to resurface and stripe a parking lot on Franklin Street. We also redesigned and restriped the theater and skyscraper parking lots. We netted 37 new parking spaces in those. And so now I'd like to say, if you hear someone say we have a parking problem, my answer is, what parking problem? Because looking back, if you can look at this map, we have all the areas in pink show where we have free public parking available, and it winds up being about 700 parking spaces, 16 acres of parking in a 12-block area. So I think you've done a great, tremendous job of taking care of the parking, and now our businesses can survive with what we have. Another huge investment project we had this year is the revival of the Martin Movie House at Theater Dublin. I talked a little bit about this last year when I presented. Happy to report that it has opened to rave reviews. We have showed right at about 20 movies. We installed a 40-foot screen, a 17-speaker surround system. That's about a $200,000 investment made by DDA, and we look forward to seeing a return on that investment and taking Theater Dublin into the next phase. Really excited about that. One of the other great things that we did in 2017, like I mentioned, is attracted 50,000 people to downtown events. One of the ways we do that is by hosting quality events that really circulate around music, food, and art. Elizabeth Coleman, that's here with me tonight, our program manager, joined us about a year ago, and she's done a great job at taking the flag and running and really transforming some of our events. So we're excited. We spend about $20,000 a year on downtown events. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's 50,000 people coming into downtown that'll shop and dine down here, and I think that's really important when you begin attracting people into downtown to build that energy and give them a place to go and things to do. So what's next for downtown? One of the things I mentioned is that we were right at about $6 million in investment in 2017. And once the projects that are already on the slate for 2018 become complete, we're going to be looking at about $9.5 million in investment in 2018 alone. That's the largest amount in the last few years. And one of the things we want to prepare for is the influx of new visitors and businesses that will be coming into downtown. A couple of the ways we want to do that is focus on our business recruitment and retention. We want to use the tools that we have that we've been using that have been successful throughout the years to really attract more shopping, more dining, and more entertainment into downtown, and that's going to be our focus. We're going to be continue to be that first stop for entrepreneurs into downtown. One of the things I'm really excited about focusing on is co-working. The Henry Building that I showed you, which was the old Belt Building, that'll be our first co-working space in downtown Dublin. And if you don't know what co-working is, it's this sort of like a gym membership for your business. It's for micro businesses, micro entrepreneurs, gives them a place to meet with clients, have some time in an office with shared amenities. But it gives them an opportunity to create and collaborate with other small business owners. So we're very excited about that space, and we're going to be focused on helping to try to attract entrepreneurs to that. These are some of the tools that we use to help entrepreneurs coming into downtown, and we'll continue to use these. And we're pretty opportunistic when it comes to attracting businesses. Really, it's a whatever they need kind of approach, and we'll put these together along with whatever else it takes to make it work for them. One of the other things that we want to focus on over the next year to 18 months is making downtown Dublin a destination. You know, we have done, I think, a bulk of the public investment that it takes. You're to be commended on that, and the private investment is now following, which is great. But we want to make sure that downtown really stands out. It becomes that destination. We want to focus on attracting a crowd to shop and dine here, and that will continue to support. So there's some things that we think that we can do that will be relatively low cost but high impact to really make our downtown a destination. I think it didn't load. Is there a way to redo it? I'll give that to you. I'll just wrap that in. Technology, it's our friend, right? So anyways, we want to work on, and some of those things are tree lighting, benches, pedestrian signage, branded pole banners. We really want to focus on investing in those things, again, to make a high impact. So how we get there, one of the things I know on your city council planning retreat, you presented some priorities from DDA, some things we'd like to see that done from our liaison, Councilman Brown. And I think that what I would like to request from you tonight is to take a look at those and really let's work together to continue to grow the capacity of downtown, to really make it the destination that it can be. You know, we have right at about 14 commercial spaces that we're going to be looking to fill over the next 12 months, 12 to 18 months. That is potentially 14 new businesses plus all the micro entrepreneurs that we'd like to attract in the co-working space. So this gives us a very unique opportunity to really reach out to them. Is it doing it now? There we go. There it is. Thank you. So one of the ways that we do that, let me go back real quick and show you this. So one of the things that we do, I wanted to put our current funding up there. One of the goals of the DDA is to take every dollar that we are given and allocated and make the biggest impact we can with every dollar. We want to touch as many people as we possibly can with it. You can see that we've worked very hard to diversify our funding over the last 6 years. We have funding coming in from the corporate side. We have funding coming from sales at our concession stand at the theater. We have a couple of restricted funding allocations that we use throughout the year. And one of the ways that we do that, we make the biggest impact is by working with partners, and that's statewide and local partners as well. Going forward, like I said, what I'd like to do is ask you to take a look at those priorities, and let's figure out a way we can work together to continue building the capacity of our DDA and making sure that really downtown remains the shining star and we keep the momentum going that we have. One of the things that I wanted to bring up is this is a statistic from Georgia Main Street program, and right now in the state of Georgia, for every dollar invested in downtown, you're seeing a $13 return on average. I dare say that's the best return you have anywhere else, anywhere in the city. So that's pretty impressive to me, and I think that we can continue to build on it and make our city better by focusing on that. So if if there was an allocation increase for DDA, that shows you what sort of impact that could be made just 13 times over whatever you invest into the organization. And then one of the things I wanted to ask you again is how we can partner with our private sector and with DDA and with the city to make those placemaking items happen over the next year. Again, I really think relatively they're low cost and could really provide a huge impact for our downtown. All right, and that's all I have. So thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions?
I got one. We had an issue because the zoning ordinance didn't allow for practical apartments upstairs on some of the businesses downtown, so we were gonna lower that square footage requirement. Did we do that? Did that get done to
Yes, that
suit?
ordinance was revised. To date, we don't have any that have dropped below to that threshold. I think we decreased it to 550 square feet.
Yeah.
But we do have some more opportunities where we can offer some affordable apartments, on a smaller scale because of that ordinance, so we appreciate that.
Good deal. Thanks.
Thank y'all so much.
Any other questions? Thank you, Tara, very
Appreciate it.
much for what you're doing, and, you're right, we're the shining star, and anywhere you go, or anybody that comes into town talks about our downtown, and it's, a lot of good, hard work by a lot of people, and we appreciate you being the coach.
I'm a cheerleader. Thank y'all.
Okay, item number 5 is, probably not gonna be as exciting. Presentation of the fiscal year comprehensive annual financial report.
It's not all that exciting. Good evening. My name is Gregory Chapman. I'm a certified public accountant with Nicholas Colling Associates, and we were engaged to audit the City of Dublin's financial statements for the fiscal 27 year. I am happy to report that we have an unmodified opinion on those financial statements, which is a clean opinion. Unmodified sounds bad, but it is actually a good opinion. And I'm also happy to report for the 28th consecutive year, the 2016 financial report was awarded with the Certificate of Achievement in Financial Reporting, which is only achieved by about 1% of governments across the country. We appreciate the assistance provided by the Finance Department, the city, all of the city department heads and the city manager, and the support of the mayor and the city council. In performing the 2017 audit, we found the city continues to be in a strong and sound financial position. Positive net position balances exist in all of the city's major funds. The city continued providing a variety of services to its citizens. During 2017, the city operated 5 separate and distinct enterprise funds. These funds are operated like a private sector business by providing services and recouped in user fees. The Water and Sewer Fund showed an increase of approximately $1.3 million in net position. The Gas Fund showed a slight decrease of $121,000, and that was primarily due to a loan repayment. And overall, all of the enterprise funds combined had about a $1.3 million increase during 2017. The city's general fund continues to provide services for its citizens. The police and fire department accounts for approximately 51% of the general fund expenditures. Community services and appropriations account for 7%, public works for 11%, and the general government expenditures account for the remaining 30%. Additionally, during 2017, the city spent approximately $1.8 million on capital improvements in the general fund and SPLOST funds. These capital improvements continue the replacement and improvements of streets and roads, as well as for other non-normal capital purchases. The city also spent $1.4 million on capital improvements in its enterprise funds. These were done in an effort to meet the needs of the citizens and to enhance industrial development. In closing, I would like to thank the city council and the mayor and its staff for their cooperation, and I submit the comprehensive annual report for 2017 for the council's approval.
Thank you, Patrick. Is any questions from
Greg.
Greg? I don't know why I called you Patrick.
It's your birthday. We'll let you slide.
What, do y'all, have any questions? I'd like to thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
And Nicholas Colley and Associates for the hard work y'all do and the advice you give us, and we appreciate the partnership.
As do we. Thank you.
Okay, item number 6 is discussion and/or action on an agreement with L&L Utilities for the installation of gas valve vaults at the 5 locations along Highway 441 North. Mr. Jones.
our original gas tank point when we started the gas system was in Milledgeville. A lot of people don't realize that. If you ride along 441 all the way to Milledgeville, there's a gas line running down the road beside you. And we need to put in these vaults, and I know he's not here, but we need to put in these vaults to help maintain the valves. Gas system needs, just like any system, you need valves where you can turn it off when something happens. And we've got 5 places we need to put these vaults in around the valves so they can get in and maintain them, work them. You can't just wait till you need it. You've got to get in there and work it and make sure it's working occasionally. So these vaults will help let us get down and repair, operate, maintain those valves. We took bids. The low bidder was L&L Utilities in the amount of $25,200, and we recommend awarding the job to L&L Utilities.
Heard staff's recommendation. What's your pleasure?
Move for approval, Mayor.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Edwards and a second by Mr. Davis. We'll accept staff recommendation and award the bid to L&L Utilities. Any discussion? Hear none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, item number 7 is award of design build contract to Swim Pro Inc. for the construction of the Southern Pines Water Park. Is that, Ms. Stanley, is that you?
Stanley's going to tell us.
All right. The evaluation committee met to review the proposals received for the water park at Southern Pines. We received 3 proposals, and after evaluating them on the standard criteria that we use for our proposals, Swim Pro Inc. was the highest score, and the staff was very comfortable in recommending to council that we award the build design to Swim Pro Inc. Their cost was $1,593,781, and that's staff recommendation.
And is that including the slide portion, or are we going to include that in there?
No, the slide portion was not included. That'll be a separate contract that we'll be doing after this process is over with. And but in our original calculations, this falls within our budget.
Motion to approve?
A second.
Got a motion by Mr. Davis and a second by Mr. Smith that we approve the contract with Swim Pro Inc. In discussion. Hear none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Item number 8 is discussion and/or action on board appointments, and I'd like to ask council tonight if you would consider approving Ms. Janet Mayer to fill the unexpired term for Karen Coer on the Board of Health. Dr. Joe Carruth is the chairman of that board and has requested we consider that.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
A second.
Got a motion by Mr. Brown, a second by Mr. Smith that we appoint Janet Mayer to fill the unexpired term of Karen Coer. Any discussion? Hear none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, this brings us to, this brings us to citizens' comments, or to any citizens that'd like to address council tonight. If not, we'll go to council comments. Mr. Brown, we'll start with you tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank Greg, not Patrick, for his presentation. Thank you so much. Also want to thank Tara Bradshaw for her presentation and what you do on a daily basis to help promote and help downtown grow. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody else, for being here.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I want to thank Nichols and Carley and Associates for the presentation. Greg, thank you for that. And I want to commend Ms. Tara Bradshaw for a wonderful job that she's done. I had the opportunity to go on the tour with them. I guess that was last week. And it is they are making some tremendous improvement in our downtown in Dublin. So I commend you for that. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Evans?
Thank everyone for coming. Thank you for the financial information that you've given us and all the work prepared. Tara, thank you for everything you do and your board. I mean, the board does a lot for the city. A lot of volunteers come together and help these projects come to place on there, and we appreciate everyone's effort to it.
Okay, thank you.
He asked about Gary, if you were gonna let him comment as well.
Oh, no.
Okay.
There's a reason for that.
Aside from him not being here.
I'll explain it to you.
I got you. Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming. Tara, what a great job you're doing downtown, and all the progress that's been made and is continuing to be made is just, it's applaudable. I'm just telling you, we are the envy of, I'll say the whole state, but for certain, any town our size, we've kind of showing them up. So there's going to be some hate mail coming eventually, I bet. But goody, 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 all I say. Or nanny, nanny, nanya, or whatever. Greg, thank you for coming and reporting to us. Also, we mentioned Janet Mayer is going to be taking the place of Karen Core. And Janet Mayer is a good friend of mine. She's going to do a great job. And I can't say enough about Karen Core and the job she's done. She's a first-class woman who's given good service to the city, so thanks to her, too. Danny, this Southern Pines project is going to finally be completed and with this addition of the pool, and I think it's going to really complete a vision that was created a long time ago, and it's going to put us right up there in a great light, going along with all the rest of the stuff we got going on. So thank all of you for coming.
Thank you. Mr. Jones?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Once again, echo what everyone said. Thank you, Ms. Bradshaw, for all your work that you do. Thank you, Mr. Gray, for your presentation. And just like to say thank you for the committee for the water park, getting it on the road. And hopefully by this time next year, we'll have something open. People go stay cool in. But also on another note, we'd like to thank our youth council. Went up to Atlanta today and received an award for what they did in the regional with the Secretary of State competition. We won our region and got an award up there, and we'll be bringing that at next council meeting, presented to council. They worked hard, and the lady want to know we still interviewing, so it look like we're gonna have a representation on the youth council this year from about every school in Lawrence County. So that would be great. So we're moving on, expanding as council would like. So we just thank God and thank council for their support.
Paul?
If I could just add, I don't have any comments, but I think if you would, Mr. Mayor, consider going back to the financial report that was presented. We could ask for a vote to accept that.
Okay. One Patrick gave us. Okay. All right. If that being said, if I could, do I hear a motion to accept the audit?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Smith and a second by, I'm sorry, who? Mr. Jones, that we accept the audit. Any discussion? Hear none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Ms. Stanley, would you take a brief moment to update everyone on the financial officer search?
Yes. The Mercer Group, who is handling our search for the finance director / city clerk, has put out a recruitment brochure that the city of Dublin, in conjunction with Downtown Development Authority and Tourism, we did in our search for our new clerk and director. They have put it out nationally, statewide, and regionally. They have received a few applications, but the deadline to apply for that position will be on May the 14th. So we're looking forward to getting some great applicants for that and moving forward. But I also want to add, on Saturday, our employees will be having a yard sale and bake sale to raise funds for the Relay for Life. That'll be here at City Hall from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. So please come out and support that. And then on Tuesday, we have our Customer Appreciation Day. Next week is Georgia Cities Week. Georgia Municipal Association celebrates that each year. And the city tries to participate during that week. So we'll be highlighting some of our city employees, highlighting the city. But on Tuesday, we'll be giving back to our customers, showing our appreciation to them. We'll be serving hamburgers and hot dogs free of charge, chips, and we'll be giving away some City of Dublin items. So I encourage everyone to come out and see us on Tuesday from 11 to 1. Thank you.
Mr. Jones?
No comment.
Okay. We've got one of our commissioners, Ms. Drigger, in the back. Welcome, Ms. Drigger. Still feels weird calling you a commissioner. Good to have you here. No further business, we stand adjourned.